So eventually I'll start holding classes that'll orient towards the tactical fitness realm of like the Patriot games, tactical games, and all that jazz. But you know, we got to start slow and then eventually slow, smooth is fast, that kind of deal. And it's all about mastering the basics. So today, don't expect like a lot of high speed running and gunning and jumping and all that, but expect more just breaking down the science to the basic fundamentals of pistol marksmanship. So today we're going to be talking about like, you know, your grip, how that is on your pistol. We're going to be talking about, you know, the slack in the trigger, finding that wall, and then eventually being able to break that wall, and then how you can become a faster shooter during certain drills like Mozambique or bill drills and things like that. So that way, instead of like slapping the trigger as fast as you can during a bill drill, you're already resetting that trigger while the weapon is cycling. So that's what we're going to be going over today, is mastering the basics, breaking down all that science stuff for, you know, shooting your pistol, getting those singles in, those doubles in, eventually those hammer pairs. And from those hammer pairs, we'll eventually be working up to that bill drill. So that way, that bill drill from the beginning of the lesson today, that's going to be probably mostly scattered and a little bit, you know, disorganized and all that, will eventually be like the size of a baseball. So yeah. Let me know when you guys are ready, because I am. All right, I'm downrange. So today we're going to go over that 4-step rule again. It's going to be a little bit more challenging when it comes to what we're doing, because we're not going to do a warm-up like the basic class. You guys should already been practicing beforehand. So that 1, 2, 3, 4 4-step draw is essentially what we're going to do. Is like, let's say this is your target or that's your target. There was a time in my security life where I saw my partner shoot somebody right in front of me, and from his point of view, he only had the weapon at 3 when he shot, because he knew where that weapon was going to point, the point of reference, and he was lucky before that dot even got up to his sights. So that takes a lot of practice. That is not just you got fucking lucky, right? So that's what we're going to practice today, is we're going to find, I'm not expecting you to be precise, but I made the target a little bit bigger in terms of the reference point where we're shooting at, so we could spread out to see where our shots are landing. We're going to practice shooting from the 3, right? So the 3 could either be right here at the chest, or it could be kind of just generally pointed in that direction over here. So the 3 is somewhere from close to your chest to halfway out before you fully punch out and find your sights. Now, being that we're in an intermediate, let's try to push for speed and accuracy. Not precision, but speed and accuracy. I don't expect anybody to nail it on the first try, but this is a good start, because in the reality, you will not have a warning on, or a warm up on, when the bad guy is gonna fucking come at you. Is a failure to stop, so that means 2 to the chest, 1 to the head, or pelvic region. The pelvic region is gonna be where all that writing is, where it says EAM USA. That is the pelvic region. The reason why you want to shoot at the pelvic region is because no matter what, no matter how high they are on shit, I mean, really depends on how high they are on drugs and shit, that is the center of gravity. If you destroy the pelvis, they are going down, and then you could just finish them off while they're on the ground, because they're still crawling at you.
Yeah, you smoke their pelvic bone, it paralyzes them.
Yep. Ceasefire, ceasefire, and reset. All right, remember where you hit? 271 all in all.
What would be better, head or the pelvic?
Pelvic.
Pelvic. Who depends who you're talking to? Talking to a cop? Talking to the prosecutor?
Yeah, go to the pelvic. Ceasefire, ceasefire. Where are you at?
I just barely missed the bottom cardboard, but I went to middle and then missed the pelvic.
Oh, you completely missed the pelvic? You hit his balls at least. All right, now your life is on the line.
Aggressive, but not so fast that
Yeah,
you're missing.
Exactly.
Understood.
Ready? Yes.
Oh, that felt fucking incredible.
Yeah,
Right.
good.
Good
Your red dot's working now.
It took a dive in the Sebastian River.
Depending on if you have a level 1, 2, or 3 holster, level 1s are great. You just fucking pull out and go to work. Level 2, you have that lever, and level 3, obviously, you have 2 levers. You push away, pull out, go to work, right? So that's why I personally prefer at the first step of drawing your weapon is where you're most aggressive, because you want to get that bitch out and in the fight. So remember, just if you want to watch, this is a new holster, so don't judge me. Right there. That step one is where you want to be most aggressive, because remember, at 2 and 3, you could discharge rounds, of course, situation dependent, right? Depending on the circumstances will dictate whether or not you're popping off rounds from right here at 2, right here at 3, and then if you have the time, an accurate and precise shot at 4, yeah? This would be considered concealment. Yes, you could hide behind it and I can't see you, but I know for a fact a bullet can rip through that bitch like nobody's business, right? That's what makes it concealment. So that's why it's important to know sometimes you could just look around in the public setting and dictate whether or not, okay, that's concealment, that's cover, that's concealment, that's cover, from your own personal experience. Fighting stance versus square stance, right? Square stance, you take your time, lean forward, punch out, and then that's why people do that, because you present most of your body armor if you have body armor on. I prefer the fighting stance because I'm ready to move at any moment's notice from this way to that way like a boxer. You're ready to move in any single direction. If you need a back step, if you need a side step, if you need to move forward, if you need to move backwards diagonally, I prefer that. Let me show you some magic.
Viewpoint?
Huh?
The viewpoint?
Yeah, the viewpoint. Move your glasses real quick. So if I'm hiding behind cover and I peek out like this, how much can you see of me? 60%. Okay, 60%, that's still a lot. Now if I back up and I peek out, how much can you see of me?
10%.
Right? I see 60% of you. I see literally actually your whole entire half of body, right? So that goes into pine corners and stuff like that, but that's why when you shoot from cover, I prefer this, because I can get a shot on you so in the center of your heart right now. My cowboy hat might be giving me away, but for you, it's gonna be very difficult, especially in a stressful situation where I'm shooting back at you. So that's why when you're at cover, never hug it, because look, you can fuck me up. Ceasefire, ceasefire. So we'll go over one-handed shooting, how I want you to engage your wing, because like I said, everybody's different. Sometimes when people flex their muscles too hard, they start shaking their sights, and they don't have a good sight picture anymore, side alignment. But I think preferably, if I'm shooting one-handed, I'm just finding that point of reference. I'm not trying to be precise unless I'm competing in the games. But if you're shooting at a person, you better have a reference. So again, depends on what you're training for. We're gonna go over moving and shooting. A lot of times, a lot of guys in like the firearms community, like ex-SOF guys, they get like made fun of, or like they get teased for like, am I really paying this much for a class on how to move my feet? But it's like, it does matter, but I'm not charging a crazy amount to, know how to move. But I think it's important. What people do sometimes is, I don't have them, but people get cups of water and they practice by moving and trying to keep all the water in the cup. That works on your stability of keeping your sight alignment, sight picture on your target as you're moving and shooting. Because when you're moving and shooting, you want to shoot with a solid base. It's a bad habit to shoot with 1 foot off the ground. Only in existential circumstances, of course, you're not going to think about it, but this is the time to develop those habits of like, boom, boom, That's why in the Marine Corps they say left foot, kill foot, because every time your left foot hits the deck, it's shoot, That way you have a stable base. Because what's more stable, if I'm doing this and I'm shooting one-handed or shooting with 2 hands or a solid base? And
no, for sure.
Exactly. I really want you guys to try to beat that record of like 6 shots, 6 seconds, because you guys have that capability. This is just really pushing you now. It's just like the gym. You go there to fucking find out what your 1 rep max is and, go from there. We're going to be moving, sideways. We're going to be advancing forward towards the threat, because I see a lot of people that are doing all this, theatrical flat range shit of like, jumping around, hitting targets and shit like that. Yeah, it looks cool for the gram, but what I would like to do is probably implement like maybe stagger some targets and see how fast you can engage all of them with a hammer pairs, like 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Just see how you naturally react to it. Because it's one thing to instruct and tell you how to engage, but it's another thing to see how you naturally react. Like, oh shit, which one are you going to shoot first? Is that the chaos drill? And that would foreshadow the tactical class of like, we're going to be doing some things about like, all right, maybe setting up some obstacles of like how to go in and around targets and things like that. Like how to like start engaging from these barrels, transition, engage a target over here. It's just the sudden change in like all of a sudden I'm engaging close quarters to all of a sudden I'm engaging far distance. Because I guarantee you, no one's really accurate except Dickens, that one guy. Placing rounds downrange like from me to that corner over there is definitely going to be different from, close range. So it'll really test the skills of like precision, accuracy, and speed, but also look cool for the camera. But that'll be like foreshadowing the tactical pistol course that I'll hold, and eventually I'll move it to rifle. Everything you do in pistol courses with me, same thing with rifle. Except it's a rifle and there's a few more things you got to worry about. You guys are really good shooters, and I know you can hit all 6 little targets in 6 seconds or less. All right, you guys are really good. I'll let this first set be a warm-up, let's amnesty period, and then that second set, I want you to hit all 6, all right? All right, on the beep, take your time on this one. This is a warm-up. Take your time. All right, what's up, Slider?
Flinching?
Okay. Downrange. Let's push it to the limits. As fast as you possibly can. Shooters ready? Yep. One step up. Shooters ready?
Ready.
Stand by. The slightest flinching. Hey, you did better. But I just, like literally a millisecond before, I see that the dip potato chip. All right, downrange.
I used to grip my gun way too high in front.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So what's with the grip? Show me, right here.
So I used to draw and come up here
Uh-huh.
is where I was doing most of my pinching.
Yeah.
Was like up there. That doesn't, it keeps it from moving, but I get a lot of side to side.
Okay.
So now I'm working on kind of rebuilding my grip. Whenever I draw, sometimes my hand still goes up there reflexively, but I'm trying to fix so whenever I'm coming out, I'm coming low and I'm getting all that contact
Yeah.
down there, and that gives me a nice solid purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what was happening on my first run, loose, and then I started falling apart that one I jerked because my grip was falling
I did
apart.
see that one. That was the only one I see you massively jerked.
But
Huh?
all right.
PG.
All right.
You got the marker? So, like that one. Okay, that one's already marked. Yeah. So what naturally comes to you? That right there, so I could better understand.
So like whenever I used to draw and I used to just go more, I'm thinking like thumb and forefinger.
Okay.
I'm gripping this spot.
Because
And
that's a nice
Yeah,
solid
on-
base. The
on this, that's-
framing has.
Whenever you're dry firing around the house, that's
Mhm.
perfect. But whenever you actually get recoil, as soon as that first shot goes off and my thumb slips,
No,
then
absolutely.
this falls apart. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to bring my grip kind of down and actually getting like that.
Yeah.
Lace the fingers, walnut cracker.
Yeah.
Squeeze
So
the-
what?
squeeze the ass
So
out.
what my boy Jay does, he's an instructor too.
Mhm.
he had a problem where his grip was too much, and when he would grip his Glock, can I see your Glock?
Absolutely.
Thank you. So when he would grip it, he would squeeze up
Kind of
and
the
tight.
Same thing. Too
Yep.
up.
So he would get up here,
Oh,
right,
shit.
and
Yeah,
put
yeah,
his
yeah.
thumb here, and he
So-
would kind of squeeze inward.
Okay.
So it works for him. Okay. It works for him, but the problem was he would squeeze so tightly, it would slide lock.
Oh, really?
So I have it on video. I'll find it somewhere one day and I'll send
where
it to you.
Almost pushing. All
Yeah,
the meat is
he
pushing
would
it up.
literally, yeah, all that meat was
Okay.
pushing the slide lock. So every time he would shoot, I thought it was jamming or something, but in fact he was just
He was
squeezing
just
so
high and
tightly.
tight on it.
But that shows that the way he was squeezing, it wasn't like too much in the front, too much up here.
Okay.
It was just kind of like think of like a PB&J and you're just squeezing that bitch, or that Crustable, and you're just like doing this, you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You should try that next
Got
time.
it, boss.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Cool. So from here, we're just gonna practice. No speed, no intensity. Just practice drawing with one hand, getting your dot on target, and placing 2 well-placed rounds in the center of that paper. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, that's all we're doing. Nothing complicated, nothing to overthink. Cant it, because that's how you know it naturally point. Or like I said, engage that wing, lock in, and just 1, 2. Yeah? So did you lock your wing or did you just point out?
Oh, I don't know.
He looks like he just pointed out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's why. So maybe the spacing is fine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still A zone, but
More precise.
yeah, just try to lock the wing in. So do this. Twist that wing in. Yeah, I want you to engage this muscle right here. If it doesn't work for y'all and it makes it worse, then do what works for you. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So yes, squeeze in. So do this kind of with your arm. You see what I'm doing with my arm? Yeah, rotate it up and squeeze that lat. It's weird, right?
Yeah.
You never engaged that muscle before?
Yeah, it definitely feels weird. Especially shooting, but
You're good. I don't have to. I can explain.
I flinched. I flinched right before I broke the shot, so I was able to recover and then get up to normal shots.
Got you. I appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it 2 more times. Yeah?
Got it.
Take your time on this one. Shooters ready.
Ready.
Stand by. Take your time. Take your time. Damn, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Downrange. Look at that shit.
Yeah.
Isn't that fucking crazy?
Yeah, it felt good too. That one I just yanked down. That was my other
You
one.
like flinching.
Yeah, dead center.
Yeah, I felt sturdy too.
Yeah, I slapped the trigger on that first one.
Oh yeah, I looked out of a lot of your videos and Tyler's videos, and for the bill drill, I mean, you guys fucking nailed it, but you guys were slapping the trigger, right? It could be a hell of a lot faster if you weren't slapping the trigger, which is what we're gonna do next. I'm gonna show you what not to do. If you guys come over here, I want you to observe my finger. So stand on this side. I'm gonna show you what not to do and why you can't do it, or why you shouldn't do it. Start at the low ready, so start at your sights at the bottom of the silhouette. See what I was doing?
Yeah.
Slapping the trigger. Don't slap it. Squeeze it. All right? Slow, steady squeeze. Find the wall. Boom. Hold it there until you find that cycle again. Break the wall. Boom. But you see what I'm talking about? See how it's everywhere? Yeah, you did hit the threat. It's all center mass. That'll fuck me up too. I probably won't be able to walk that off. First time shooter doing the bill drill. Not going to be able to do that. I'll be surprised if they do, and I'll give them credit. That was 2.2 seconds. That's me slapping the trigger. Now, letting it cycle, really locking in, thinking I'm speed, all that shit. It's controlled, mainly in the center, 1.1. Seconds matter. Seconds fucking matter. Yeah, buddy.
All right, that felt good.
1.25. All right, downrange.
That feels good.
1, 2, 3,
4,
5. 6 is somewhere.
6 is somewhere.
I feel like it's up here somewhere.
That's probably
It's one of these
those.
motherfuckers, yeah.
Okay.
Yes. He dead though. You want to do it one more time? Fuck yeah, let's do it.
I need to get quicker.
I love it.
Just ride that reset.
Yeah, can you just zoom in on his stuff? Shooter, stand by. Oh, what happened? Oh, jam.
I got that back. I got 6. Perfect.
You got 6?
Yep.
All right, let's do it again. Ready? 1.25. He wasn't fucking around.
That was good.
He was like, I'm not leaving this fucking range until. Yeah, 20 yards. So when I say advance, you're gonna have your weapon drawn and you're gonna find your sight alignment side picture. At the halfway point, eventually you will hear the beep and then you will place 5 rounds on target. So that first 10 yards, you should find your stability. It should get a lot easier as you get closer. Because what happens when you get closer to something? Well, yeah, smaller range, bigger target. That's what, yeah, he said it in a weird way, but I like that. The smaller the distance, the bigger the target gets. You guys are both right. So I will demonstrate. I should have it out. Didn't know there was a reload, but hey.
Took a second on that one.
Yep. Thank you. So remember, as you get closer, target gets bigger. It makes it a lot more easier. But try to shoot every time your both feet are planted on the ground. I'm not going to specify what foot because I don't want to make it too complicated. That's just the Marine Corps in me. But hey. All right, shooter ready? When I say advance, you draw the weapon, find your target, sight alignment, side picture, and just, hey, keep your arm stable. You know, one foot in front of the other. Yeah? Okay. Ready? Advance. All right, draw, make safe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Got you. So you're all on this side.
Yeah.
So that's probably.
I think when I was playing my left foot,
Yep.
I shot and just.
Yep. The moment you plant it, you probably weren't. Oh, don't do it. You probably weren't as stable. So the moment you plant it, you did that little. Boop. Yep. And that's what literally all your shots right here, except that last one.
3.
Yep. Let's do it one more time with you. Advance. You're like, who the fuck is in my yard? Who the fuck is in my yard? I don't know. Oh my God, a gun. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
That felt a lot better.
A hell of a lot better. So from the compressed. Just 3 rounds each target. That's all I want. All right. The finish was my square stance right here. All right. Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Well, it doesn't have to, I don't want to be too specific and say last bullet has to be bam. Yeah. But just, I want you to bam and get in that defensive posture. Shooter ready?
Ready.
Stand by. Yep, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Square. Oh, you decided to put one more round? So instead, I don't want you to stop. Movement is life. All right, you might have placed 3 rounds in that dude, but yeah, but you don't want to stop, right? Because if he, let's say you fucking hit him, but he's, you know, keeping his eye open, he's like, oh wait, he stops. You know, movement is life. Movement is life. Movement is life. All right, we'll make this the last one. All right, compress ready. Yep. Start walking. The moment you hear that beat. That was my bad. Yep. You see what he did with his feet? He adjusted as he should and kept with the target. I love it. It's like I don't even need to do explaining. My whole like goal here is to try to explain better, but you guys already know what the fuck you're doing. All right, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Stop. All right, you see what you did wrong? No, you didn't go forward. But Matt Slider, could you tell what he was doing when he was walking?
I couldn't quite place it, no.
Okay, so this is what you're doing.
Oh.
You're getting further away from your target.
Was that?
Yeah, I just walk in a straight line.
It was, like Josh was saying, try not to be perfectly aligned with
Yeah.
the target. You were shooting,
Yep.
and then you kind of crossed like the plane of the target. So then your legs were moving forward, but your body was pointed backwards.
And then you started like going away from, you're like, oh, get away from me. I don't want to, you know. I mean, the lizard brain will like naturally tell you to get away from the threat, right? But just, this is the whole point, is to get your brain to multitask now, right? Because now you're not just doing that shit, you know? You're fucking, oh shit, I gotta move and shoot. Try to stay in a try to stay in a straight line. So find a reference point and just try your best.